Well, this is something I've been meaning to do for a very long time and never really had the opportunity until just this week, really. In the UK, lock testing was mainly get what they had in the shop, try it, if it worked, buy it. But as luck would have it, my local shop has been selling a lot of this, so they've been getting quite a bit in, which has been really good. It's SK long range match. Probably you would class that as a mid-price ammo, not the cheapest, not the most expensive, but it really suits my gun. This particular lot has proved to shoot very good. On average at 50, a .33, shooting outside in the fields and on benches, and as you can probably hear, I've got a load of wind to contend with again today. So what I intend to do is I've got 3 different lots. I've numbered them 1 to 3. I'm shooting them over the chronograph. I would normally do a few more, but I'm just going to do 20 just to keep the video reasonably short. And this would be part 1 of my lot selection when you get the chance to do it. Looking for low SDs and extreme spread, and then adjusting the tuner. Now, as I mentioned, the tuner, the rifle does have a tuner on it. It's not going to be moved in any of these. I'm just looking to see how the lots vary. Be interesting to see if there's any point of impact shift, and what sort of difference we see between the lots of SK long range. As I say, never done it. Something I've always wanted to try, so I'll get to it. I do apologise for the long pauses between loading the mags and the wind noise, but I shall shoot these as quickly as I can just to get the figures so we can see what sort of difference there is. Anyway, lot number 1, 20 rounds coming up. Well, that's the first 10. Now to load the magazine. I've got to be honest, this is my go-to ammo. I think it probably shoots the best in this rifle, even against R50. Now R50 I would say would beat it from 50 metres to 100. I think I've had slightly better groups, but for the price of it, it's certainly great practice, training or even competition ammo. Anyway, last 10, then we'll look at the chronograph for batch number 1. Lie down. Lie down. Okay, so there's batch number 1, 20 rounds. Let's see what it has to say. Right. So the slowest 1069, the fastest 1105, average 1083, extreme spread 35.86, standard deviation 8.77. Now the bullets have been out in the sun. Normally expect to see a little bit lower figures than that. When I done it the other day it was down on the 6, but it is what you get. So let's see what batch number 2 has to offer. Lie down, please. Look, lie down. You do with somebody to load them out. What I would suggest if you're watching this is the points where I have to load the mags, fast forward by about 5 minutes. I do wish that Anschutz have made a 10 round mag for this rifle. Hopefully they will soon, fingers crossed. Right, batch number 2. As you can see, 20 rounds of this. And there are different numbers on it, obviously. So let's see what this has to say for itself. Tidy little group. Oh, I pulled that by a mile. Come on. So there's your first 10, batch number 2. Lie down. Lie down. Loading the magazines again. One thing I would suggest if you're going to use a lot of this in one day is to take a rag with you, because it's very greasy, this ammo. Runs nice in the Anschutz 1761. Runs very nice and everything's unedited. So this is a live take of what I'm getting. Try and get the grease off. There you go, last 10, batch 2. Very low there. Right, let's see what the chronograph has to say on batch number 2. Right. Sit. Sit. The dog's rather keen to run down and look at the target. Here we go, batch number 2. Slowest 1061, fastest 1089, average 1075. That batch is actually 10 feet a second slower than the other one on the average. Extreme spread of 28, that's pretty tidy, and an SD of 8.60. So those two are looking good. Just my batch is 10 feet a second faster, if that counts for anything. Right. Load the magazines now for batch number 3. So far, no point of impact shift at 50. I suspect at 100, well no, not even at 100. I suspect at 200, batch number 2 may be a little bit lower than mine. But I think for the money, this stuff is very hard to beat. Certainly looks very consistent. It's just nice to be able to test it and see how it performs in the real world. Right, batch number 3. Here we go. Let's see what this one does. Lie down. Lie down. Wow, that was a big shift. Well, that first group on batch number 3 would suggest I wouldn't buy that one. Now, I've got to admit, I'm not really taking my time and trying to be too precise. But the first 2 shots out of batch number 3, I don't feel were me. I will zoom in on that in a minute. Could have been the wind. The last 10, let's see if it redeems itself. I redeem myself, whichever. Don't know what the figures will be like on this one. First shot went way to the right, but that is the wind's pushing. And as you can probably tell, I've got a fair bit of wind to be contended with. I don't know. I don't know. Last 5. That was right. I'll show you the targets if I zoom right in. That last group was going all so well until the last minute. Lie down, Blue. So here we go, zooming in. Top row was lot number 1. Lot number 2 is obviously the middle, and lot number 3. Some of those shots that were outside the circle, especially the first one, which was way to the right on the bottom row, I don't feel was me. And then it went also well, doing really well on the last group, bottom row, all going through the same hole, and then one outside the ring. Could have been the wind, could have been me. Let's see what lot number 3 has to say on the chronograph. So, lot number 3. You have 10.62 for the slowest, 10.96 for the fastest, average 10.76, so that's pretty identical to lot 2. Extreme spread 34.47 and a standard deviation of 9.21. Can't remember what the standard deviation was on lot 2, but I still think lot 1's the best. There we go. It does go to prove that lot testing is definitely worth doing. I must admit I'm very happy with the lot that I've bought, and I don't think that lot number 3 was me, but there we go. I'll have to review the figures and watch it back. It's all the fun of doing these little videos. Saves taking notes, something to watch back. If you've enjoyed it and liked it, give us a thumbs up. Cheers and gone.